What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another edition of Tech in 5, where we talk about cool and interesting tech products in under 5 minutes. Today, we're talking about the Sony XM4s and whether they are worth it in 2022. So without further ado, let's throw up the clock and get started. So obviously, when considering the XM4s, they're definitely top of the line headphones. But there are two new contenders that have come out in the past 2 years, and that's the Sony XM5s and of course the AirPod Pro Maxes. And so many have considered buying those over the XM4s. The biggest reason for the XM4s is of course the price. The XM5s coming in about $450 and the Pro Maxes coming in at about $550. So all three of these options are definitely expensive, but when it comes to top of the line headphones, I think these three are the best on the market today. So obviously when reviewing any tech product, we're gonna have to look at our liftoff checklist, where we're gonna be talking about the build and aesthetic and of course the performance. And that's really all we need to talk about when considering wireless headphones. So to start, the build and aesthetic. So when considering the design, I'm a huge fan of the XM4s. Now comparing it to the XM5s and the Pro Maxes is of course subjective, but I think I like this more than the other two. I'm a huge fan of the matte black and the rose gold accents, and honestly, I have nothing to complain about. Many of you may like the XM5 design or the Pro Max design better, but the biggest thing for me is practicality. Unlike the XM5s and the Pro Maxes, the XM4s can fold into their case. And that's a huge plus when it comes to portability, especially if you're traveling a lot or if you're putting this in a backpack. The XM5s don't fold into a very portable case. It's more like a mini backpack. And don't even get me started about the Pro Maxes, which pretty much don't even have a case. It is a hard plastic design, so it's not the most durable headphones, but they're pretty solid. I've dropped these multiple times, whether it's in the gym or in my room, and I have thrown this in my backpack without too much care, and it hasn't broken down since, so I'm a huge fan of the durability. Now, comparing that to the Pro Maxes, obviously the Pro Maxes being solid aluminum, it's definitely more durable than these XM4s. However, I think it's a huge plus for it to be plastic simply because of its weight. Now, obviously, if you're getting wireless Bluetooth headphones, you're going to be probably listening to these for long periods of time, especially if you're spending like $350 on them. So considering that, I like the fact that this is lightweight. The fact that the Pro Maxes are solid aluminum means that it gets really heavy considering you're going to be wearing them for long periods of time. And I've heard from other reviewers and my friends who have the Pro Maxes that listening on the Pro Maxes for long periods of times gets a little bit uncomfortable. So considering that, I'm a huge fan of this lightweight plastic design and I have no qualms with it. Something I forgot to talk about in the video is battery life. Now, these have very good battery life. In terms of real world usage, about 1, maximum 2 charges per week, which is pretty good when it comes to headphones. The XM5s have better battery life and so do the Pro Maxes, so that's something to consider, but marginally better. And in terms of real world usage, they're pretty much the same in terms of experience. I'm definitely not charging these every day, so something to consider. Great battery life. It's definitely not something that would knock off the XM4s. So another thing to consider when talking about the build is water resistance. Obviously, for me personally, 50% of the reason why I wanted good noise canceling headphones was for the gym. And so I needed to know if they could hold up to sweat. And the XM4s and the XM5s are IPX4 rated. That means they're good for sweat and small amounts of moisture. Now, the AirPod Pro Maxes, I did some research and I really couldn't find if they had an official IP rating. I do not think they do. And so that was a big reason why I couldn't go for the Pro Maxes. They're just not insured for sweat resistance. And that's a big reason why I think these are a great option at $350 instead of the Pro Maxes, which aren't even IP rated at $550. But again, that's very case to case specific depending on why you're buying headphones. But if you're really into the gym and that's a big reason why you're buying this headphone, then I definitely do not recommend the Pro Maxes. Now let's move on to the performance. I mean, the reason we buy these wireless headphones is to listen to them. And in terms of sound quality, I think all three of the options are very, very good. Now the XM4s have beautiful sound quality, and honestly, I have no problems with them. But when considering the XM5s, they do get a little bit of a sound boost, but remember, you're paying $100 more for that. In terms of sound quality, it's pretty balanced, and in the app, you can even change it to whatever situation you're in. So they do have an equalizer if you want a bass boost or any other type of customization you want to do, something that I'm pretty sure you don't get with the Pro Maxes. So obviously, another reason why people are buying these headphones is for the noise canceling. And honestly, the XM4s in terms of noise canceling make me feel like I'm in a different dimension sometimes. It's pretty crazy. And while the XM5s do get a little bit of a noise canceling boost, and the Pro Maxes also have very good noise canceling, I don't see it getting much better to the point where I feel the need to spend $100 or $250 more for headphones. These have excellent noise canceling, and I can't really ask for much more at $350. Now, one huge reason why people get the Pro Maxes instead of the XM4s, for example, is because of the transparency mode. It uses the microphones in the headphones to amplify the background, so if you're ever walking around in town, or maybe you're at school or in any situation where you need to be alert about your surroundings, you can actually hear what's going on. Now, the transparency mode on the XM4s is not the best, but spatial audio on the Pro Maxes is seen to be really, really good. People even say that it's like listening to speakers in your room. You don't even feel like you have headphones on. So that's a huge plus with the Pro Maxes. You're not getting that with the XM4s. My experience with transparency mode is that it's pretty good, but you're definitely gonna have to turn down your volume to 70-60% if you want to actually be able to listen to your surroundings. Some other small features that I think is important to talk about is the on button. Now, as funny as it sounds, the Pro Maxes don't have an on button, but that's not the case for the XM4s or the XM5s. They just have a regular on button, which is important, especially when it comes to saving battery. In addition, the XM4s come with a headphone jack, and they have a headphone jack, unlike the Apple AirPod Pro Maxes, which do not have a headphone jack. But in terms of which one is best for you in 2022, it really depends. If you're comparing the XM4 and the XM5s, I 100% recommend the XM4s, simply because the XM5s are not worth $100 more, in my opinion. At $350, this is the answer. However, the AirPod Pro Maxes are a different story. Now, if you're really deep in the Apple ecosystem, you have the iPad, you have the iPhone, you have the MacBook, then maybe the Pro Maxes are the way to go, especially because they're easily compatible with the iPhone and all the other features you get when getting another Apple device. It might be worth it. In addition, spatial audio is a big plus for those of you who are really into that feature. So it's not a terrible option, but if you're looking to save money, especially $200, then getting the XM4s is a great secondary option. That's pretty much it. That's my review of the Sony XM4s. Yes, they are worth it in 2022. And yes, if you're looking for great headphones, these will do pretty much no matter what situation you're in. These are going to deliver. I love these headphones, and I'm happy to recommend them to you. Link in the description below. And if you have any questions or concerns about this product, or if I said anything that's wrong, because I probably did, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe. More videos coming soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.